is Strong and Sassy. My name is Animwaa Anim-Addo, and we're doing this until 8 o'clock. So tonight, we are talking about what women worry about. So this is how the topic came about. I went to the salon to take out I had a weave. So, and you know how it is when people come to the salon, for some reason, it's like a freeing atmosphere. There's a lot of self-love, a lot of self-care, and that kind of thing. And so there were a group of women, and they were having a chat about the things that are really, really worrying them. And I found it very interesting because there were 4 women of different ages, and I noticed that each of them had very peculiar worries. So it seemed as if worries changed depending on, the season of life that you were in and that kind of thing. So I sat down and I tried to write a list of my worries to kind of see, okay. And I noticed that, yeah, it's true. I mean, it kind of changes as you go. So then I started to wonder, what are women worrying about? So I thought, why don't we get together and have that conversation? So it's an interactive show, so I'd love to hear from you. 055 1111997, 055 Text me, tell me what you are worrying about. Okay, let's make this easy. Top 3 things that you worry about regularly. So joining me for tonight's discussion is I was going to say is Aita Frem, but it's Strong and Sassy regular Esinam Batali, who's a digital marketing strategist, amongst others, a content curator, a playwright and theater producer, a musician and music producer.
Music business.
Music, a lot of things. Hi Esinam, nice to see you again.
Hi, nice to see you.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good to see you.
Football took our time.
It's good to see you. It looks like you're about to fly.
Yeah, if I blink 30 times.
If you blink, you just you fly. And of course, we have Marilyn, Mrs. Marilyn Suter. I'm not too sure. Is your husband outside today?
No.
He's not? Oh, okay. Marilyn's husband is such a loving husband. Let's just say hello to him. When he can, he comes to support us, and we love him for that. So, Mr. Suter, good evening to you. We are missing you very much. But Marilyn is here with her list as usual. You know that's from Marilyn. When she's coming, she has written essay.
Oh,
so
thesis,
right. I think if you came without the thesis, it wouldn't be you. So Marilyn is joining us. So it's so great to see you guys again.
Yes.
So Marilyn, when you wake up in the morning, what do you worry about?
Money.
Oh.
At this stage of my life.
Money.
Yes. Money, and then career progression. Yes. Schooling, career advancement, capacity building.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, so those are the things that occupy center stage.
Can you give us, don't tell me how old you are, but give me a bracket so that those who are listening and can relate within that bracket, because I really kind of want to confirm my theory that, the worry correlates with the age brackets.
Okay.
So you give us like a 5-year that you're inside.
Okay, so 35 to 40.
Okay, 35 to 40. Isnam, what about you? We'll come back to your worries.
Sure.
But Islam.
25 to 30.
Okay, so what do you worry about?
I worry about money as well, like you mentioned. I think that generally in Ghana right now, almost everyone is worried about money. I worry about money for myself, for my family. And then I worry about self-image. Self-image issues, because I feel like I'm also at the stage of my life where I'm still trying to shape my future and trying to get myself out there in doing the things that I'm doing and doing them very well and being known for them. So I worry about my image as an individual and my sense of self, and I worry whether I know myself enough. I worry about that too, because I feel like there are lots of things I still don't know about myself yet. I'm willing to search deeper and go through it and find it out and unlock certain things about myself. So yes, I worry about that as well.
I love that. That's a very interesting. A lot of your worries, apart from money, are very intro.
Yes.
And
yes.
like,
I'm at a very introspective point in my life right now. I've taken a break and moved aside all the things that I regularly do and even switch jobs to a point where I can be comfortable enough to look inside,
Yeah,
because I
I
feel
think I
like
was surprised when you switched jobs because
yes,
you had a good job.
I did.
Yeah,
I did, but I felt like I was still not getting the fulfillment that I
that you
wanted,
wanted.
and I know that the only way I can get that fulfillment is art, but I didn't even know which part of the art I could fit in, because I am multifaceted. I can do,
Yeah.
and almost anything I attempt to do, I can do and do it well,
Mm.
but I still don't know what me as a human being I want to do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take some few steps back and look at the broader picture and look at myself and how I fit in. But in order to do that, I needed to know who I was.
Yeah.
And so I'm still very introspective now, unlocking things, finding and having conversations with my inner child. Like a lot of things that have been buried, repressed
Yeah.
memories,
Mm-hmm.
all the things that I've been going through as an individual, like my process of self rediscovery.
Yeah.
I think that's where I am right now.
I love that because I think so I think Marilyn and I are kind of in the same age bracket. So 30, I'm turning 40 next year, but I think for a lot of us who are kind of turning 40ish, when we were in our 20s, we didn't really have the time or even the maybe the knowledge or the awareness to do what you're doing now. So we kind of ended up doing that in our 30s.
Right.
And so you find that a lot more people who are maybe 35, 30 kind of going through the who am I really, who am I this, and taking that step back. So I just feel like that's just really cool that you're doing that now.
Oh,
I wish I
thank
could
you.
have I wish I could have done it at 10 years ago. I think my
Yeah.
life would have been very, very different.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think it just came with learning more, and then the play I did were all mad.
we're all mad.
In my research and finding out mental health and mental wellness,
Yeah.
I stumbled across.
I think it's also
that.
the times that we're in, these things are talked about more
Yes,
than they were
yes,
10, 15
yes,
years
yes,
ago. So
yes.
I don't remember when I was 25, anybody talking about self-harming. Charlie, we were. Anyway, joining us on Zoom as well is the writer of the Single Women's Bible, which I really enjoy. I've really, really been enjoying your posts on Instagram. Stephanie Benson joining us all the way from somewhere very far away. You have your Christmas tree already. It's lovely. Are you enjoying your new home?
Yes, there was so much to do. I had to redecorate completely, so it's been really a hard road, but we almost there.
It looks nice though. I like the Christmas tree.
Thank you, thank you. That's the smallest one in the house, by the way. But you see,
There's more
I'm
than
making
one.
it a little bit more over the top because I have a grandson now, so
Right. So there's more than one Christmas tree in the house.
Oh yes, there's 3.
Wow. Okay. That's that's anyway, it's nice to have you again. You look lovely as always.
Thank you very much. Hi
So-
everybody.
Hi, Stephanie. Good to see you.
So
See
what do
you.
you worry about these days?
I mean, I think these days I worry about my grandson. There's just so much happening in this world at the moment, and I worry about him being okay, being safe. And there's another illness in the air at the moment called strep A or something, which young kids are getting. So I think right now that's what I worry about the most. But as a mother, you never stop worrying about your children. I mean, my son goes out to work and he comes home sometimes about 2 in the morning, and I don't sleep. I don't sleep till he gets home, and the child is 22 years old. So I think worrying when you become a mother, worrying it just is nonstop. It just keeps going, and that's mostly what I worry about.
Because I was going to ask you, when you said you worry about your grandson now, I was going to ask you, is that different from when you used to worry about your children? Do you feel like you're done worrying about your children so you can graduate to the next generation? But it looks like that never goes away.
No, never. I mean, never. The feeling of worrying about them. It's like when my daughter had her child. I was worrying about how she was going to cope. Whether she was going to go back into shape really quickly. So I was trying not to be one of those mothers that says get up and exercise. But I know what it means to them because I was able to do it. When you have children and they watch you being able to do most things, and still be what I am at this age. They worry about whether they can keep up. And I don't ever want them to feel that way. And I know they've said that to me a few times. So I'm always like giving them a nudge, like, come on, let's do it, you know, and they listen, praise God, you know.
Well, that's good then. I think most of us have just accepted that we can't keep up with you. That's how we deal with it. Yeah, because right? It's it's a global
I don't know how my brain
consensus.
was made,
Yeah.
actually, because I don't know how to sit still, and I'm always like, okay, what next? I'm just one of those people.
So your worries are your grandkids and your kids.
Yes, my worries are my grandkids and my kids. I never worry about my husband. I mean, the guy is old. Where's he going? So, you know,
Wow. Did you used to worry about him?
I've never worried about him. You know, when a man makes you feel really secure in yourself and in their love for you, you just don't worry. And I have to tell you, I've had situations where some of the women I work with, and we're talking very, very, very successful women who are very sexy, gorgeous, some models and whatnot, they've come on to my husband. I mean, look at the man. You know, yeah, it's like, really? But they've come on to him, and he's always said no. I can tell you some stories, but we'll be here forever. So, yeah, I trust him. I mean, if he's been able to turn some of these women that the average man would not walk away from and stuck with this African woman here, then I think I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
Sweet.
Do you worry about your husband?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
What do you worry
about? Yeah, more of his advancement.
Okay.
You know, business wise.
Okay.
He owns his own outfit, so I think about his progress. You know, how to move from one step to another. Client base, is the business growing? Because if he's stable, then we are all stable. Although I'm working, of course, but he's the head of the home. So I do worry on that level. Yes, I do worry.
Is that the
him.
only way you worry about him?
In fact, I do not have any problems thinking that he's ever going to misbehave. No.
What? But why do every time you ask a woman if she worries about her husband, the assumption is that it's about other women?
Well, I think that is what many women really preoccupy themselves with. Yes, because there was this viral picture some time ago on WhatsApp, and they said that was a shop where passwords of only husbands' phones could be decoded. And then there was this very long queue to the end of the road. And I was like, really? Seriously? Why would you want to bother yourself trying to see what is... But I think many women have just not given themselves rest about this particular matter.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think that women worry about safety. Safety in relationships and safety in their lives generally. So for the fear of being broke or going hungry, they would rather be with somebody who had money than somebody who didn't. Now, that is one side. On the other end, there's the safety. We worry about safety in relationships where is your partner making you feel safe enough to be yourself, to explore all the good things in you and see what could come of you if you had the right support base at home. So I think that we worry about that dominantly. Is this relationship safe enough for me? But we don't know that it's really safety that we're craving. We will say, oh, we want security, or we want protection, or we want money. But essentially, we want financial security.
Certainly.
We want security in our relationships. But we end up basically at the bottom line, we just want to feel safe.
So emotionally safe.
Yes,
physically
financially safe.
Yes,
financially safe, but maybe not so much because a lot of women are financially
yeah,
safe on
we're
their
now
own.
being financially safe, on
which
their
I love because then it actually just challenges the relationship to be more than about money.
Definitely.
So it's like, okay, let's show. Oh, never mind what I was going to say. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
What were you going to say?
I'm not going to say. It's Stephanie's influence. I was not going to say. You're being blamed for something you know nothing about. Can you imagine?
I'm blamed for everything. It's all
Yeah,
good.
you are, aren't you? Okay, so do you think that, Stephanie, and I'm coming to you, do you think that a lot of the things that women worry about also depends on where they live? So, for example, do you think that women in Ghana are worrying about things that are completely different from women in the US or in the UK or Romania or so wherever?
I think predominantly how we feel, the how we feel is the same. It's just that the magnitude of it maybe changes, because women usually worry about in Ghana usually about the men. There's no question. I understand you saying that it's about safety. Yes, yes, they want to feel safe, but usually it's a one-upmanship. You know, social media has come to wreck a lot of things for relationships and marriages. People are always worried about hold on, is it my thing working? Yeah.
Yeah, I
People are
think it's
always
working.
people are always now worried about what somebody else is doing, and the fear of failure. So so if they have a relationship and they're broadcasting it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, they're so afraid to see it fail that they stick to it. And that's the thing. We've always been afraid of failure all through the generations, but now it's heightened. So young people now, it's, you know, they are so free on parading their relationships on and the internet after a month, sometimes after 6 days. And I don't get it, because that is just a recipe for failure. Because as soon as you do that, the expectations on you is ridiculous, and then you stay in it although you're miserable. And that's what a lot of them do. Because I get so many ladies coming on to me telling me so much about their relationships, and I love it. It's always confidential. I never, you know, I would never. I'm just not that person. I'm a mother, so I wouldn't never talk about somebody else's relationship. But they are really concerned about what their friends will think, and who he's specifically dating, whether they're better looking than them, what they're doing. I mean, it's really sad. We used to worry about disappointing our parents. Now these kids, now they worry about disappointing their friends and people who are watching them on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think we have to be very careful. I mean, I'm always trying to subliminally tell women that when I'm making my funny posts, that you have to be very careful about how you project yourself, as in when it comes to relationships, because you have to be yourself first. Find who you are. Be yourself before you bring somebody into your life that you're not totally 100% about, because you lose yourself along the way.
Yeah. Do you guys want to respond to that before I move on
Yeah,
to the next?
I had wanted to say that it's all in finding validation online. We don't believe that on our own we're enough. So we need outsiders to tell us that we're enough.
Outsiders who we can't see, who we don't know.
We don't know if they're real.
Yeah,
who they're,
exactly.
we don't know anything.
Who
but
don't care, really?
Who don't,
they don't,
exactly.
and honestly, they don't care about you, because in the moment they saw the image, they probably passed a comment or two, but then the
Yes.
next moment they are occupied with something else.
Yeah.
This generation of social media users have 3 seconds to spend on a post. In 3 seconds, they make a decision whether they want to like it or not. And whether someone's like, someone's comment shouldn't be the reason for which you exist. You know, like
Yeah.
the public validation and the public applause should not be your drive or your motivating factor, especially with relationships. Because like she said, people may fear to leave the relationship because it's gained publicity.
Yeah.
Now people know of the relationship and they use hashtag goals for us. So I can't leave this relationship. So even when it's the most horrible relationship they've ever been in, they are there. Even when it's very toxic, they're still sitting there, and they're waiting because publicly people love them, so they need to keep that image. And I'm not saying that. I think that where it comes from is as individuals, when we don't get the validation we want from childhood, growing up, we feel like we need to do something extra
To earn it.
go beyond, above and beyond, to get that validation. And so we want to make the choice of showing our relationship out there, but we're not ready for the consequences that come from showing our relationship out there.
Yeah.
Because yes, you put the information, there's your relationship, but once you put it out there, you subject it to public scrutiny. And then when people start coming down at you, you can't keep up with the relationship. You are feeling frustrated. Everything is toxic. Your anxiety levels are high. Now you can't bear the consequences. So we are pro-choice so much, we forget that choices come with consequences.
Yeah.
So if you want to put your relationship out there, by all means, but have the heart to own the consequences that will come from it. Whatever you want to do, feel free. But know that when the repercussions come you should be on standby.
And that's not just for posting anything on social. That's just life in general.
Yes.
Yep.
Everything has consequences.
Yep.
I mean, so. Okay, so let's talk about looks. So let me start in studio and then I'll come to you, Stephanie. So Marilyn, do you worry as you're growing older about how you look? About how you look, about how the people you love, no, let me know people you love, about how your husband sees you, how he feels about how you look, and then about how, you present. And then when you're alone, I mean, how do you worry about how you look?
This look matter. Okay, I have personally struggled with accepting myself because I don't know whether to say body shamed, but
Okay.
my weight was just more like a topic every day of my life. Growing up, you are made to feel that you are big, and the way you are big, you have to lose weight. If you don't lose weight, you don't find the right man. If you understand it, it was
Yeah.
just about that.
All the
So
time.
sometimes, yes, I do worry about it. I feel maybe if I could just reduce a little bit to a size 14, a size 12, I'd look so smart. Okay, yeah, I'm turning 40 soon. I think maybe I need to do a makeover and become a sleek young lady, slimmer.
More,
Yes, the
yeah.
curves more pronounced. But then at another point, I go like, for what? What extra value does that add to me? If I want to lose weight because of keeping fit, then that should be the motive, but not to impress anyone. Luckily, I have a husband who just loves me the way I am.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is with me dealing with the past how many years of being made to feel
Like you weren't good enough.
the body just needed help. It was made to feel as if you just have to desperately do something about this
Yeah.
body. Yeah. So sometimes, yes, it comes through, but I think I am gradually getting over it.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I'm gradually getting over it, and I am just beginning to like myself. As it was that bad that sometimes even in pictures, I just do not seem to appreciate myself in the picture. I just feel that maybe if my cheeks were a little bit, so I'm dealing with that. Yeah, but my husband is really helping.
But I mean, also, as you're growing older, your body is changing.
It is.
I discovered that gray hair, it's not only our hair, though.
Many places. I just realized a
I
few
had
in front.
shock.
Yes.
I had a shock when I discovered that gray hair, it is not only
On your head.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's when you know that
And the places that it is, you cannot put Adama there.
No.
You cannot die. I really said that. I was like, why can't anyway? Let's move on from that. But yeah, you look very lost. You haven't discovered gray hair in places, eh?
not yet.
Anyway,
Stephanie, so the gray hair in
Don't get me started about talking about vaginas because
Oh my
I'll
goodness.
go there.
Okay.
Yes, it grows in the vagina everywhere. I've seen it, and the thing is, I've had the laser treatment, so I have no hair anywhere,
Okay.
like there or armpits, nothing. I've just lasered it all away. And the other day, the odd occasion, I look at my vagina. I like to see whether it's
What's
still
going
okay.
on there? Yeah.
Yeah, so I take a mirror to it, and I saw like 4 or 5 around the lip area. And I'm the same day I was on the phone to my esthetician, say, hey, listen, I've got some gray hairs on my vagina. I need to laser it off.
Oh my goodness.
I want to open my legs and have my husband look at some old lady's vagina. It's not happening.
I don't think anybody tells you that there will be gray hair in
Everywhere.
areas that,
No.
yeah, no, I don't
No,
think
but you should
anybody.
embrace it. I love gray hairs, actually, but not on my
Says
vagina.
you
But I like,
who
I
has lasered and
well, but it's in my hair. I mean, I do a lot of weaves, so you don't see it, but it's in my hair, but I don't have a lot of it.
yeah.
But, you know, media, I don't know. I'm an enigma. But yeah, I don't have very much of it. I tie my hair a lot and I don't see too much of it. It's there on occasions, but
Yeah.
it's all, I'm happy with it. But talking about looks, I think women worry about weight and how they look as opposed to somebody else in the same position. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Because usually you look at yourself and say, "Oh, I have 2 kids. Oh, she has 2 kids. Look at the way she looks." But everybody's body
Body.
comes down or you know gets bigger depending on their diet and also the genetic makeup. You know, so I mean, for me, I have a lot of my family are very quite wide, like big hips and whatnot. I mean, they, you know, I'm afraid to say the wrong word, but you know, a bit bigger than I am. So I realized that after I had my children, so I had to work that much harder to get my body to look the way I want it to look. Because the last thing I want is to look at a picture and not appreciate what I'm looking at. But it doesn't matter what size you are, we all have insecurities.
Yeah.
You know, I would take a picture and I look at it and I go, oh my God, you know, my arm is a bit too muscly, you know, so maybe I shouldn't lift weights, or maybe my eyes are looking a bit small, or I don't know, anything. But I've stopped that. Maybe it's because of my age, but to be honest, I've never actually felt like that. When I take a bad picture, I look at it and go, oh, okay. I don't worry about it. I never have all through my adult life. And that's because my mother made us feel so confident in ourselves. You know, when your mother's always telling you how gorgeous you are, how pretty you are, what value you are to everybody. My father was the same. So I think I probably was the only child who took it on to the extreme. Of course it's like that, but not to the extreme that I am. My older sister is very confident in how she looks. But not to the extreme. But I take to the extreme because it's who I am. You know, I don't care what anybody has to say about me. It doesn't worry me, because if you say I'm ugly, that's okay. It's your opinion. And if I am ugly, so what? It's all good. So I think I've tried to instill that into my children as well. So we have to change that narrative. You know. Not being confident with ourselves, whatever size it is, it needs to change.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I want to mention, sorry, about looks, is that this whole fad about sucking fat from the stomach into the ass, I really want women to rethink this narrative that's been put out there, because it's not good for your body. I mean, there's the people who are dying from it is not being you know, put out there as much as the ones who are doing it. You know, there's so many people who are dying. I'm here, and I hear a lot in America as well, from this particular surgery. And everybody says surgeries are dangerous anyway. Of course they are. But this particular one has a much higher rate of death. And when I say higher, it's a lot higher. And some of the reputable surgeons don't do these kind of surgeries because of
the risks. Yeah.
So I think especially the Ghanaian women and in other places, they go to the cheaper place to get it done. You know, like, you know, wherever, because it's cheap, and they don't. You have no chance of actually vetting that doctor, because you don't know which doctor you're going to get when you get there. And a lot of them are passing away or having problems later on. Yeah. You know, and I think, please, guys, stop looking at social media and see all these women with the tiny waist. Because those women, if they are not exercising, let me tell you, when they are not exercising, every 6 months to 8 months, they will be doing another surgery, because they will put on weight again. They usually do. So a lot of them, as they're putting on weight, they put on these corsets to sink their waist in until they can harvest enough fat to go and get some more in their ass. I just think the whole thing is just ridiculous. If you actually not happy with yourself, work out first. Get your body in the shape that you want to. Get your mental brain right before, maybe if you want to do liposuction, then go ahead and do it. But unless you get yourself fit and healthy up there, and body-wise, you shouldn't go and do liposuction because you'll be doing it constantly.
Over and over and over again. Yeah. I get that. Esinam, I'll take what you think on body, or whether we worry our bodies and all of that when we come back from a break. Don't go anywhere. We're just taking a few minutes to hear a few messages. This is Strong and Sassy. We'll be right back.
Your brand is unique and distinct. To make it stand out, you need a branding partner who can bring your brands to life. At Target Solutions, we understand the importance of standing out, and so we carefully craft your design so that you can get the best. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, mugs, and face towels for your special occasion, or Friday wear and uniforms for your company, we are your choice. Organizations trust in us for their large format banners, billboard printing, packaging bags, and many more. Contact Target Solutions today with your unique designs, and let's become your one-stop shop for all your branding needs. Stress-free service with quality and satisfaction assured. Contact us today on 055-518-0065 or 0542-102-152. You can also locate us on the Spintex Road near Zenith Bank and opposite Build Marts. Target Solutions. We bring your brand to life.
What can be done so that this Christmas is full of fun? Well, Dion Recreational Center, the ultimate recreational center, has you covered with 12 days of Christmas from Friday 23rd of December to Monday 2nd January. Dion Recreational Center has an unforgettable Christmas experience for you and your family. The package includes Christmas night camping, party by the poolside with live band, bonfire, fireworks, buffet, barbecue, fun games, and competitions. For the kids, there's a special funfair package with lots to enjoy and do, like swimming, horse riding, cycling, bouncing castle, and many more. Ticket cost per day starts at 200 Ghana cedis per head for regular and 1,000 Ghana cedis for VIP. For booking and registration, call 020-393-4787 or 054-272-6296. You can also use this short code *713*312#. Dion Recreational Center is located at Klagon Road, Community 19 Junction. Dion Recreational Center, lots of fun.
On your superstation Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Animwaa Anim-Addo, and I'm talking to Stephanie, Marilyn, and Esinam. And we're talking about what women worry about. And at the moment, we're talking about our looks. So, Esinam,
Yes.
do you worry about how you look?
No.
Okay.
I think I've got to the point where I don't worry about how I look anymore. I used to worry about how I look, but I finally got to the point where I'm accepting that this is me and this is who I am, and I'm going to deliver my best every time you see me. And but this is who I am. My scars and all, like, because I have ADHD, I pick my skin a lot, right? And so I've had scars from childhood, because like something will cut me, and
You'll pick at it.
and I'll pick at it, and it will become a black spot, and it will be there. So I have a lot of scars, like my whole body, from like my head to my toe. But like, I've never thought, and of course, if I get opportunity to fix it, I will.
Of course, yeah.
I'm not saying that I won't ever consider cosmetic surgery, but what I'm saying is, the current me that I am, I like me,
Okay.
and I'm presenting me to you, and I don't care if you like it or not.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's a
Yes.
good
Yeah.
that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Do you worry about getting old?
Yes, for health reasons. I worry that I will become old, and I will not be able to help myself to the washroom and stuff. But for now, I worry that I'm not as fit as I want to be. And so
But on the flip side of that, I'm sure you also feel like you have time.
no.
No?
I feel like the more every day I get older, and my health is not going to stay the same. It's going to start deteriorating. So if I don't get back to if I don't get to fitness, I will struggle to fix it in the future.
Yeah.
So rather, I want to start now. But the economic condition,
They
it's
don't
not
allow
helping
for
you.
healthy
It's not helping
eating.
you to live healthy. Oh, fine. Oh my goodness.
It's not, the economic is very, very serious.
Gym sessions are prices have been increased.
Even gyms, the cost of food.
Yes.
So it's more expensive to
eat
buy
healthy.
fresh
Yes.
groceries and cook.
Yes. It's more
Than
expensive.
it's cheaper to just go and buy the gari and beans or the wache or
Yes.
than
Yes.
to actually buy the ingredients and coming. So that's also a problem.
Can I
But
say something?
So yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying about gym. You don't have to go. I hardly ever go to the gym. You can work out at home just as easily. Really, I probably do my best work at home. So let's not, talk about gyms. You
But
can
we
use your
also
body
want to
weight.
see the fine boys at the gym. That's the encouragement.
Oh, then maybe
the
say that. Don't say
motivation.
that you're trying to-
Otherwise, where's the motivation gonna come from? I mean,
Oh, the motivation is in looking at yourself in the mirror and knowing where you want to go with it. That's my motivation. I stand in the mirror and I just assess my body and say, okay, what do I want to refine? And that's what I do. So if my waist is getting a bit too big, and I go, okay, let me just target my waist. I'll do everything else, but I'll target my waist and then check what I'm eating. You see, when it comes to diet as well, it's not really about dieting. It's about cutting something from your foods on a daily basis. Let's just say if you eat fufu, soup, and the next day you have kinky and fish and eggs, maybe that day take away the egg and just have fish kinky. So every day or every other day, you just take something out of your diet, and then you'll find yourself losing weight. So that's another way of losing weight without worrying about what you have to eat and what you have to buy if you don't have the money. Just cut something from your diet. If you have Coke with your food, don't have that Coke, have water. If you have a beer every day, just make sure you have it 2 or 3 times in a week instead of every day. So, and that's a good way of losing weight. And that's what I do. I don't worry about, eating salads and whatnot. I do if I have to do. I have a show to do and I want to do it a certain way. But otherwise, no.
Stephanie, you get that we can't really relate because, like, you are slim and like, do you get that, right? Like,
No, you shouldn't relate because listen, stop it.
plus
I'm
where
sitting
she
here
is
and I'm
and where we
watching
are.
the lady there with her big breast. I love it. I want her breast.
wow.
So if
Listen,
she could give it to me, she could
Come
have my
for
small
it.
ass. I don't know. I've got.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean, Stephanie makes a good point that just cutting back a little. So, like, for example, like me, I eat fufu and soup and coke, and then when you finish, eat meat pie for dessert.
Hey.
Maybe
Hey,
meat pie and fanais. Maybe
My
cut out the
goodness.
meat pie and the fanais after the fufu.
Oh,
No, but you think maintaining being fat is easy?
sorry.
Yeah, if you lose God, no, you lose weight.
It's true. You lose what you have
actually-
not planned
you
for.
exactly. You
Yeah.
actually have to. But anyway, I'm just joking. Not about the meat pie and fun nice though, but yeah. But also, I mean, as we're going older, gravity is calling on a lot of things. Is that something you worry about? Gravity, like all of a sudden, things that are looking front are looking down.
Oh, okay. That way.
Yeah.
No, not
No?
not now.
Not yet.
Now. Yes, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Stephanie, how do you deal with unless gravity? You don't look like gravity is affecting you.
Listen, gravity affects everybody. If I had my breast, it probably would be facing downwards. But as you know, I've had double
Yeah.
mastectomy, so I don't have, my usually big breasts. I used to. So no, when it comes to my body, because I work out and I target certain parts that may sag, because we have the bye-bye arms, for instance. I think when you get older, unfortunately, that happens.
Yeah.
So for me, I use weight. It doesn't happen to me because I tighten my muscles by using weight. The butt sometimes will sag. Mine doesn't because I work out. But so I like to look at myself in the mirror naked, and that's what motivates me to tighten
To
up
work
various
out.
parts.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I don't have that yet, but I'm sure it will come. I'm only 55. You never know when I get to 60. I may not be showing my body on social media anymore.
Who
That'd be
knows?
such a shame. Actually, I probably still would.
Yeah,
so
I was
you can
going to
still
say
have
that.
saggy body.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for looks. Do you guys want to say anything before we move forward? I think the anecdote for to worrying about looks is kind of like start working out, taking care of yourself, and then you can kind of manage.
I think it's
That's
self-acceptance.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you don't want to be 600 pounds and
No, you see,
self-accepting
when you
that.
accept yourself, it means that you accept that you're not healthy. That means that you know what you need to do, because self-acceptance comes with self-love.
Can I just say something?
Right.
I have an issue with self-acceptance because for very long time in my life, I was totally accepting of myself, which means that I could never relate to when other people told me I was fat. Do you get what I mean? Because I look in the mirror, I know that I'm almost 300 pounds. I know I'm taller than the average person. I know I'm bigger than the average person. But I was just totally self-accepting. You know, this is me. This is how I am. I don't care. That wasn't a healthy self-acceptance. That's why I'm kind of trying to draw the line that there's a place for self-acceptance, and then there's a place for looking in the mirror and saying, okay, this is me, but you need to do better. I need to do better. This is not good enough. And I think that you find that there are people like that who just don't have, because most people who know me know I've never had issues with, like, I don't have weight issues. Like, I'm not fat too. You understand? Like, I'm just, so if I go to the doctors and he says, okay, your sugar is a little bit high, your cholesterol is a little bit high, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it for the sugar, I'm doing it for the cholesterol. I'm not doing it because I have self-accept. Do you get what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Knowing who you are is very important. I think that it's the most important thing everybody should do before they leave Earth.
Yeah.
If you live without actually studying yourself and knowing who you are, it's when you know who you are, you get to realize certain things you used to do that were even problems. I feel like self-awareness got you to the point where you realize that your old self-acceptance
It's a problem.
was problematic.
Yeah.
Good. So I'm not preaching just self-acceptance, I'm preaching self-awareness. You know, learn about you currently. Do you like the current version of you?
Yeah.
If not, we'll work on it. If you do, I really don't have a problem.
Okay, I get that. Marilyn, do you worry about death?
Hey. Yes. Yes,
Yeah?
of course. Of course, because I think I have a lot to do. And so sometimes, yes, when will the curtain be drawn? By then, would I have finished?
Yeah.
Would it be at a good time? You know, so yes, but I also believe that my God will keep me alive for me to finish my work.
Amen.
So I
Not
don't
too much.
give much credence to that. I just live every day with hope that it's a new day, it's a new beginning. Do what you can, and then that's all. We still have hope that we would live up to when God wants us to
Do you
live.
worry about life after death?
Yes, I have been thinking about it lately. Yes. Well, of course, as a Christian, because I always say that after everything on this earth, after all the suffering, after hustling to be able to buy fuel in this economy, and everything, eating gobe, 010, all of that. Then at the end of the day, you go and burn in hellfire again. That is
That's
a
problematic.
punishment for yourself.
That's double
So
soul.
at least after everything, you should be able to make it when that trumpet sounds. Now the thing is, although what is the hope we have? The kingdom of God.
Hallelujah. Praise Jesus.
But
Glory.
the life, the how is the criteria going to be? Sometimes you want to think wildly about
wonder,
these things.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
How is the judgment going to go? Like, is
Is
everything
God going to
included?
remember some of this? Is he going
Is
to
everything
remember?
included?
Yeah, or is it all under the blood, really? Like, yeah.
Yeah, so
I
so
worry
I think
about-
about these things, and that guides my Christian life and my Christian walk every day, so that at least, if not for anything, let's make it to heaven. Because the description of the 66 times is not friendly.
Yeah.
Don't you think we're living through that though? But that's a
Sometimes,
conversation for another day.
Sometimes.
I worry about losing a family member or a partner. I worry about death, but not for me, because I've come to accept that death is one of those things that come with life. If I die, really, I feel like people who came into contact with me would value me even if I wasn't here. So I can die at any time and I'm good. But if I lose my family member, if I lose my partner, I don't think I'll be able to handle it.
I think that in the face of death, you kind of find that you have more strength. And I lost my dad last year, so that was like, ooh. And then I lost one of my cousins a few months ago, so that again was like. And then I lost one of my best friends so you kind of like, it's painful and it's a process, and you're like, ugh, like why? But I think it's also easier depending on the life they've lived, and with my dad or with my parents, how old they are. The thing that I worry when it comes to death is if my children will be fine when I die. And you see, Ghanaians don't like to talk about death. So it's, hey, this is showing your Sassy, they're talking about death.
They're so morbid.
So morbid, right? Yeah, but yeah, we're still gonna finish the death conversation. So Stephanie, do you worry about death?
No, I never have. I don't worry about death at all. But I obviously I made a pact with God that He should make sure that I go before my husband or my children or my grandson. So otherwise we'll have a problem when I get up there.
Wow.
So I'm not afraid of death at all. I'm quite, if it comes, it comes. I mean, when I was going through cancer and having my surgeries and whatnot, to be honest, I just felt like if it was my time, then He was going to take me. But I didn't believe I was going anywhere. I believed I was going to be alive, and I have conversations with God all the time. So to be honest, I'm not scared. No.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's it for that. We have about 6 minutes left. So I'd love to know what you're thinking. I don't know. Do we have enough time to open the phone lines? Maybe not, but let me take a few messages.
Aww.
So Gifty says, 3 things I worry about: financial independence, security, building a personal brand. Gifty, this is not 3 things. So financial independence, financial security, building a personal brand, raising my kids the best possible way, weight gain, and keeping
Good
it.
health.
That's at least 5 things. Weight gain and keep. But I get that they're just teasing you. Stephanie knows the kind of exercise to do. What's about the rest of us who don't know the right type of exercise to do? And there's so much information on social media. It's so difficult to know which one is right. Nana Kwesi, Enima is giving me ideas about gray hair. Look, yeah, hashtag check your gray hairs. Yeah, you better. Okay, so no, I don't think we have enough time to open the phone line. So let me just go around the table and ask, when you think about the things that you worry about, how do you resolve them? And what I mean by that is, usually when I wake up in the morning, the first 5 minutes, all my worries, before you put up that wall, for me, as soon as I open my eyes, everything I'm worrying about comes to my mind. Everything. The people I owe, the bill,
Charlie.
what I've eaten for the day, my children's our day, will my car battery still be in the car when I go downstairs? Maintenance alert. Everything just floods my mind. And so I always need a good few minutes to kind of, Jesus is in control. Jesus, hallelujah. Jesus is in control. Father, I commit today to you, because if you don't take today, I'm not going to get out of bed. So we do our blackmail the first thing in the morning, kind of, but when you're the things that you worry about flood your mind, how do you deal with them?
It's in the moment that it happens that I react to. I react to it when it happens. Because for me, when I wake up in the morning, my mind is usually blank. I have a very clean slate, and that's because I forget everything that happened the night before.
That's amazing. Wow.
And no, it's both a strength and a weakness. That means that if I have a task that's pending, object permanence, if I don't see the thing, I won't have it in my mind.
So you have the reminders and all of that. But
I need a reminder to remind me of my reminder. Let's not go there.
Yeah, okay, let's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, I reassure myself that everything is going to be fine. I think it's more because I operate very logically than sentimentally. I'm very mathematical and calculative in most of the things that I do, and it logically makes sense. So I say that for all the things that depend on me, as much as depends on me, I've done. And in an equation, you can have dependent variables and independent variables. The things that depend on you can control.
Professor.
Sharp. Number one.
Minister
The things that you can control, you do your best at. But the things you cannot control,
Yeah.
they are out of your
That's the
hands.
dependence or the independence.
X and Y.
Either
axis.
of them. Yes. So as much as the things that you cannot control, you leave them to God, vibes, inshallah, whatever it is. Know that there are things that are beyond you. For what you can do, you are doing your best.
Yeah.
Just resolve to doing your best. And I think that's what carries me throughout the day. Like whatever I'm going to do, at least the fact that I'm associated with it, I'm going to give my best.
But you see, these are like with actual, I don't even know if I'm using the term right, but these are with actual like worries. These are like level up worries. But when you wake up in the morning and you don't have enough money for food, and you don't have enough money for it, like how do you even deal with? I've woken up this morning, I don't have enough money for food. I don't know how I'm going to feed the kids. I don't have enough fuel in the car to take them to school and back. I don't have a job.
Good. So you don't have all these things. Currently, you cannot control them.
So I'm just going to get back into bed. Everybody should stay at home. We are fasting.
But what you can
Basically.
control in the moment is, do I want to feel the same way tomorrow? Do I want to feel the same way the next week?
But then sometimes, okay, I feel like this is another conversation. So Marilyn, really quickly, because we have like a minute, and then so that Stephanie can also. How do you resolve the things that you worry about?
I just pray. Yes, and then I prioritize.
Okay,
So I
pray
take
and
them.
prioritize.
I take them one after the other. Yeah.
In prayer, or you prioritize?
No, after
as in
praying,
my
I
to-do list,
prioritize
how do I
the
resolve?
to-do list.
Okay.
Yes, some may be in years, others may be in weeks, others may be a daily task. Just prioritize, and then
then-
things become easier.
Okay, so pray and prioritize. Stephanie, what about you? How do you resolve the things that worry you when they come to your mind?
For me, I make a list. I usually just write down exactly what I need to do, and I write down the steps as to how and what to follow step by step. So when I wake up in the morning, if there's 10 things on there and I can achieve 5 of them, I'm happy. So I make sure I go from 1 to 10 strategically, and then I tick them off. So that's how I deal with everything that I need to achieve.
To deal
So
with,
I try not to worry. So
Okay.
writing it down brings it to life.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, Marilyn, and Asinam. This has been Strong and Sassy. My name's Animwaa Anim-Addo. Next week, we have the Carol service at Labadi Beach Hotel. So join us there. Don't forget to text if you want to join to our text line. So we'll be back on the 28th. Merry Christmas and stay safe out there.